Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for joining me today. You're on the Nomadic Inc. channel. I'm James Showers, of course. It's a pretty damn clean name if you ask me. We're going to be taking a look at my little tool bag collection. I've got some Occidentals, I got some AWPs, and I've got some Arsenals? I don't know. Let's flip you around, take a look. We've got a few different sets of bags. Okay, I broke my stand for my camera here, so we're going to have to do all this one-handed. And what we got going on here, we'll start with the Occidentals. We've got basically a drywall set, but it's got a good place for your knife up here in the front. Probably put some router bits and your little changing tool right there. A couple pencils. I like to put my chalk line right here. You can, pop a circle cutter or something down this hole if you want to. Actually, no, this one, or a keyhole. Keyhole in either this one, or a circle cutter in one of those two. This is a good one for pencils because it does have a stop about this point, as where these ones come all the way out the bottom. This is for a hammer, but I'd never put it there because it's going to whack your knee. So I end up using that for snips if I need them. And this right here is actually perfect for a rasp, and it lets a lot of that drywall dust just fall out the back instead of collecting in the bag. And then normally having it set up that way, you've got this one little spot right here for, I don't know what you're going to put in there. Maybe some miscellaneous stuff. Once in a while you need to throw something extra. The bags I'm using right now, in the Union, I have this set up and I have my shims to stack my sheets in that pouch. Now, these are actually the Squanch's old bags. And I'm acquiring these until I get some, make some better life decisions, I guess. So we're going to take a look at these. Now, the way these are set up, they've got a pad and a pad in front of each one of the bags. And I actually really like that setup. And then I also have this back buddy that myself, I'd probably put it right here in the middle if I did the two pad setup, because this is kind of nice to have. And you can always put your hammer holder right here in the middle of it, so it kind of like dangles right behind you. Now on this side we have a 3-pouch fastener. I think it's really detailed as a 4 because they consider this a pouch, but that's basically for your tape measure, So you really have 3 pouches and one spot for a speed square, and then a couple other little things. This could, house your keyhole saw or a little crowbar or something, something you're going to maybe need. A couple different pencils and whatnot over here. I really don't use the fastener pouch for tools very often, except for just the tape measure. And that's basically it right there. Now, I like this for hanging drywall. It's, fairly small and compact. So let's compare that to the big Oxys. Let's grab each one of these pouches and compare. This is the fastener pouch for the big Oxys. And let's take a look at that side by side. Now this is a 3-pouch and it's the smaller, but look, this is the big Oxy. Look how big. Obviously, that's why they call them the big Oxys. This pouch is literally huge. You could probably put a whole box of screws in there. Not that you'd want to. Let's see, what is the difference in the opening? This one, and when you first get this pouch, it's really stiff and it's really hard to get your hand in there. After a while, it gets to where you can do this. But this one's automatically just huge. It comes with this tool shield, so you can put a sharp object here, like, I don't know, you can even cram some snips in there closed if you needed to. Also, what this has, see how you can see that it's not only just bigger, they're taller, wider, and deeper than this traditional bag. You only have, I guess you could use this as a small little like extra fastener pouch, but I'd put, I normally put my chalk line here with a couple tools and stuff underneath it. Like you can put your router bits and stuff underneath it because it's huge. It's still big. 25-foot Fat Max fits in here pretty good. And like I said, these are huge. There's a spot for your speed square. It's got a spot back here for, I don't know, what do you want to put in there? Is this going to be your jab saw, circle cutter, cat's paw? I don't know, whatever you want to do. So there's the comparison there. Look how big they are. Now, if you are using the big Oxys, you cannot use these. They're too Well, this one looks like it might fit. They say that it doesn't, so you have to get the wraparound pad if you're going to use that, which it's good, but it's not good because it has a strap right here in the center, so you can't really put anything directly behind you. It has to be off left to right, you know, so something kind of that kind of bugs me a little bit. All right, now let's take a look at fastener pouches. What do we got going on here for the fasteners? You know, as you can see, it's got that same thing. Look how tall this one is. You know, if this one comes all the way down here where this sits, look how dinky that little bag looks. This thing looks tiny. But what's nice about this, it's tiny, but it's compact. It's exactly, there's no wasted leather. Everything, all your tools are right there. Done. So I kind of want to upgrade back to these bags. Now let's take a look at what we got going on with the tool pouch. Damn, that's a lot of spots for tools. Okay, now you could put another tool shield right here, which I think it normally has one. I pulled it out, and then I'd keep my knife in this tool shield, which I do like better than this because my knife is cutting through the hole, or cutting a hole through this, and I'm going to need to put some kind of hard liner in there to stop that from happening. So I do like that this tool shield stops that from happening. It's too big to go into there, so they need to make like one that fits into that pouch better. It's got this hammer holder in the front, but once again, I use this for snips. It's just really nice having it right there in front, handy, because you're going to be doing some steel stud framing and whatnot. Now these inserts that they've sewn in here, I feel like they could have made those a little bigger. Look how tight they are. I mean, you can get a screwdriver and some other random tools in there. I think you can even wedge a, you know what, like right here is where I put my torpedo level. Will slide right into that little spot, which I think is pretty cool. But I mean, you're gonna have a hard time getting most anything else in here. And these pencil holders, look how tiny they are. I think they're probably better for bits, and they'll stick up pretty high, but to like this point. And then they just kind of like threw these extra bit holders up here. I mean, they're good if you've got like a couple hex heads or something you're going to want to set in there. But for the most part, if you bend over and you have anything taller than this, it's going to jam into the side of you, you know. So you got to really pick what you're putting in there. So those are all going to be smaller bits, or, you know, like a little 4-inch shaft with different tips or something. But this is huge. I mean, you can put a router in here. I think Sam was using this for a while, and he put his whole router in this thing. I mean, it's huge. Your gun will sit on there, and then it's got this little flap of leather right here. Now you can take a framer square and slide it right in there. Perfect. But what I also like to do with this is it's a good clip for your Hilti gun, or if you have a shoddy, or, you know, what is it, GX 120 or something like that. That main clip will clip right over the top of this, especially if you keep that tool shield in here, because it gives a little extra rigidness with the plastic, and it hangs off this just perfect. You can hang that whole gun right off this bag. So that's cool. And then look at these. These are really good side. Let's put my hand in there. Look at that. So that's, now I'm all dusty, but that's quite a bit of room. I mean, you can, I don't know what you're going to want to put in there. Chalk line, plumb bob. I mean, just miscellaneous random stuff. I don't know. You decide. So let's take a look at these guys compared next to each other. So if you're going to be doing more than just drywall, you know, you might want to upgrade to either like a framer bag, or if you're looking into the big oxys, then, you know, this is what you're gonna be getting. You know, this is the comparison. Now I want to show you a few things that happen with these big oxys. You can see this tear right here. Now I could probably just get another rivet and pop it in there. I haven't done that yet, and it's slowly been ripping. And now the reason that has been ripping is because these pouches are so big that this is caught when I started doing residential drywall. It's probably better to have the smaller bags, because these are just way too big for being in the tight areas, and this would catch on the scaffold and slowly kept chink, 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 and ripping. So it finally ripped all the way across. Okay, so as you can see, I've got this hole right here, and it's obviously way too big to keep fasteners in there anymore. So that's kind of annoying. You know, you'll have to send it back and have them sew it up, or I guess sew it up yourself or something. So this needs to be stitched up, and that needs to be riveted. So I'm kind of disappointed, you know, when you're spending this kind of money on bags, you just like assume they'll last. But I mean, with anything that's getting any kind of wear and tear, you can't really, you just never know what's going to happen. But I was disappointed that this one shredded so quick, and it happened within like months of owning it, you know, like slowly started wearing. And then you're walking around the job dropping screws all the time. So that's kind of lame. All right. So these are out of the way. And like I mentioned before, if you get this, the big oxys, you will not be able to use these smaller pads. Okay. You have to get that full-blown liner, which means you won't be able to use this, which is kind of a bummer because that's what I wanted to use. It's really nice and stiff for your lower lumbar. All right, get these things out of the way. Let's get some of these in here. Now, if you don't want to spend the money on some Occidentals, you can get some cheaper bags. Now, I believe these are about, I don't know. Actually, these are Smiley's bags. I think he grabbed the wrong ones. He left me with the purple ones, I guess. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter to me. They're basically the same. Arsenal. I think they're made by Bucket Boss. These are purple looking. I think they're supposed to be gray, but they look kind of purple. So now this one is kind of weird because this is the tool pouch. And you could probably get like a knife to sit right here. It's kind of got like a hard liner a little bit just to maybe protect it a little bit. And then it's got these random, not random, but they're just really, really thin pieces of material allowing your tools to be there. And I think this is supposed to be for a speed square. And it's got one little pouch here in the front for like a chalk line or something. A couple pencil holders up here in the front. And they've just kind of like bunched up the material, and I don't know. I mean, you can get some, I don't know, you can get some stuff in there, but I'm just not really too satisfied with them. But they've lasted quite a long time. So I mean, you know, $60, $120, I think, is the range for a pair of bags like this. It is kind of cool. I think this was like meant for a cell phone back when like cell phones were small. No, I don't know. But that's kind of cool having a pouch that you can close up and keep locked down. Now this is the Fastener Pouch, and it's a 3-bag fastener, which I really like this style. I wish Occidental would make something like this that was leather, where it had the one big pouch and the 2 small pouches, you know, and a place for your speed square. So here's another little spot for your speed square. It looks like he's got a bunch of screws jammed in there for whatever reason. It also has a couple little spots for like bits or something in here. I've never used any of those. And here's another little spot for, I don't know, some other kind of smaller tool. And then a couple little things like this, like a hammer holder. You could use right there. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. And now this one does have a pad lining that comes with it, with the belt. And yeah, what else do we got? Anything else? Just another little... That's basically it. I mean, I'm not too jazzed up about these bags, to be honest. But, you know, they work good and they'll last you a while. It just, you know, it depends on how you use them. I want to show you guys this little compact mini. I almost forgot about this guy. Now, this little compact mini, see how tiny that little, this is compared to, well, obviously the big oxys are way wider. But this is a good little pouch. You can sneak almost anywhere. See, would it fit right here? Boom. Get that back, buddy. Throw this guy on the back. And this is actually really big. You could probably put a router in the back of this. Keep your extra fasteners that, you know, say you only have a 2 pouch like this one or something, or a smaller 2 pouch, or you just need extra fasteners. When you're doing a lot of commercial work, you end up needing a lot of tools that you don't always use, but you don't want to have to like run to the gang box or something to get a tool just to finish a job or to do something. So sometimes it's nice having these extra little bags like this. This little compact 2 pouch is wonderful. I freaking love this damn thing. You know, if leather wasn't so heavy, I'd probably use the big oxys with this guy on the back, and yeah, and totally be rocking a cool setup. What else do we got? We've got the last pair of bags here, and this is an AMP, or AWP, sorry. Here's the Fastener Pouch. Look how tiny that thing is. But you know what? This is gonna be like your $30, $40 bag you're gonna pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's. I think this is Lowe's actually. And it's got quick little places for some fasteners, spot for your
tape measure. Another little spot right here for some random stuff. So that's kind of cool. They've actually got quite a bit of space on such a small little pouch. Little hammer holder, and now we have the tool pouch. The same kind of idea where it's got a small little pouch off here to the side of the actual tool pouch for stuff like your chalk line and plumb bob and whatnot. And then we've got a couple spots here for some bits or some pencils. Yeah, this one's kind of chintzy, but you could put a jab saw or what are those things actually called? I can't even think of it. You guys know. Comment down below. But yeah, you can throw your little jab saw in there. Keyhole saw, that's what it is. But it's got no actual tool spots. Like, there's nothing woven in here for actual tools. So you just have to basically throw whatever you're using in the bottom of this bag. But it does have another little spot here and here for some random stuff. So, I mean, you could fill this thing out pretty good. It's got a couple pencils. They've got their knife shoved right here. Ain't too bad. And then another one of these flimsy little guys there. To put, I don't know, a cat's paw or something, you know, circle cutter. We've got this pad right here. Ain't too bad. You know, they're all like a one size fits all. These things, I think you have to either cut them or fold them, so they fit you pretty good. They're not too bad if you're getting into the trades. You don't want to spend the $300 for a set of Occidentals. Get yourself a $40 pair of amp bags, you know. Run them until you just can't. Until you're just like, all right, these are done. I need to do something else with these. And upgrade, you know. And if you really still like this, the woven material, the Kevlar, either look into the Occidentals that are doing that, because they've got quite a bit of the Kevlar, I think it's Kevlar, material, the woven stuff, and it's pretty nice, but it's still going to be in that $200 to $300 price range for a set. Or you can always get something like this, you know, hopefully not the purple or a pink set, but you know, find a pair like this, because these are about the 80 to 120. They're bigger than the AMP or the AWPs. I don't want to keep calling them amps, but they're a little bit bigger than that, and they're actually a little, you know, they've got better material. This is really, I mean, you can feel how thin, and it's not going to last you very long. It's gonna get you into the trade. It isn't going to get you out. This one will probably last you quite a bit of time, and if you're not as hard on tool bags as I am, you could probably get 2 years out of these things before you want to replace them, and maybe even longer if you get something like a tool shield or something for some of the sharper tools that are cutting through the bags. So that's basically it. If you're looking at my recommendation, I do like getting nicer things. So these I always end up leaving for my cubbies. I get stuff like this for people that are joining the crew. Here's a $40 set of bags. I've bought stuff like these just to get me, you know, where I didn't have like a set of leathers, so I got some of those. And once I've upgraded and those become cubby bags, I got these big oxys and all this for my commercial work when I'm doing steel stud framing and some drywall hanging. It's really good because you have so much room for tools. It's very versatile. I mean, you can set this up any way, you know. I love that. And then when I'm actually just doing shacking, some regular drywall work, I like this pouch a lot. You can probably get a woven pouch, so you take a little bit of the weight off if you want the fasteners different. But this guy's your go-to. Just make sure you do something with this. Maybe coat it with some more, because they've got a little bit of hot glue down here, or not hot anymore, but glue. Maybe you can coat this one side, or find like a plastic sheath or something that would go in there. That's just an idea to keep those from lasting longer. Other than that, I love them. They work pretty good. It's worth the money. Plus, it feels nice to have a good set of bags on, and you know, people recognize it. You got some nice Occidentals. They just look good on you. You know what I mean? You can use some oil to keep them fresh. Some different types of leather milk and whatnot that you can keep the bags looking a little bit more brand new. They do get worn like this. These are normally like a dark red to dark brown or light brown when you get them, and they've obviously, you can see these things have all been worn down pretty good, but you know what, we use these things. So yeah, and if you do get a pair of bags like this, believe me, these sheet pads, they don't get as hot as you'd think they would, and they feel amazing on your hips. Like, you just have to get them, okay? If you're gonna do the leather, you're gonna have to get a pad, some kind of pad system, okay? And if you can wing it with a smaller set, like if you got the framer bags or something instead of the big oxys, you can still do the 2 sheeps and then a back buddy in the back to give you a little bit more of that lumbar support. Also, I wanted to throw this one last tidbit in before we go. Alright, I know this video is long, so comment down below if you're actually here. Now, these right here are little leather, I don't know what they are exactly, but they're these, they go around your tool belt, and you're supposed to connect your suspender setup to them. But I wanted to tell you that you can use these if you're not using suspenders. Sometimes I'll put one on the bags like here and have it hanging down, and then they're a good little clip for a lanyard, for a tool lanyard. So if you got a lot of stuff, you're working over heights or working above people a lot, and you need to place for your tool lanyards instead of clipping them on random spots, get a couple of these, put one on each side of your bags, and you've got a little spot for your hammer and your screw gun or whatever to be lanyard off to your body. Okay, there's your little tip, and that's basically it. We're gonna wrap this video up. Let me spin you around. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is gonna wrap up the video. Hope you guys like this. Share, subscribe, comment down below. You know, let me know you're here. Tell me what kind of bag setup you got going on. Let me know if you liked or disliked mine. Tell me what I could do to improve the videos for next time. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. I'll see you on the next video, and peace.